Howdy, folks. It's Roby One Kenobi with the Manufactured Mind. Hope everybody's doing well today. Give me 1 second here. See if this. Oh, there we go. No. Doesn't make much sense. I don't know. I don't know, but I hope people can hear me when they do listen to this. You have to forgive me because I've misplaced the directions that came with the mic. Oh man, gotta love some AuDHD. I can tell you that. What I'm overcoming here by even doing this, because for 2 days I've been trying to do the freaking podcast, and I have not yet been able to do it until just now. And it's because of AuDHD paralysis. So I have AuDHD, I'm autistic, and I have ADHD, which it's a superpower in my eyes. Alright, well, all of my stuff is on as far as the microphone goes. This is just literally my first live stream, so let me see. I just mute it. Huh? What does this do? Huh? Um. Let's see. Let's share that. All right. The golden hour of thinking, folks. You have to excuse me for that right there, the clearing of the throat. And I'll sit here and do this constantly. That's why I have this stress ball in the shape of the manufactured mind. um, and you'll see me like bite my lip a lot, and I go silent when I do it because I'm holding my breath. It's a tick that I have. It's from stemming. Um, Not that I really need to explain it, but I don't want people to just be sitting there waiting for me in silence, and like think something's wrong. So that's all. Um, but anyways, so yeah, the AD or the ADHD, ADHD, paralysis, whatever you want to call it. It's super, super debilitating to me. I will sit in this house and literally, like, I want to get up, or not get up. I pace the floor all day long. Like, even while I'm working, I'll be on the phone working, or I'll be in here working, standing up. Sometimes I'll lower the desk and sit down. But for the most part, I'm standing all the time and pacing and researching constantly, just consuming as much knowledge as possible, reading as many books as possible. Um, but I get this paralysis feeling where I feel like I literally cannot walk outside of my house. Like, I'll want to. The want is there. I just feel stuck, if that makes sense. I don't know why this thing is moving so slow. Let me just see if that helps. There we go. I think it's because I was sharing the screen for some reason. That's weird. Um, but so that's what's going on with this is I've had the ADHD paralysis for like 2 days, wanting to go live. I've never been live before. Um, I have my podcast that I just started back in like end of September, early October. No, it was probably like September-ish. Trying to think exactly the date. I honestly can't remember the date. It was around September, maybe even end of August, but I think it was September. So we'll just say September. September 2025. I started on Podbean. Um, I've gotten like 37 episodes uploaded so far. I've only recently so there's only like 18 episodes on YouTube and there's only a few on Spotify because I was just kind of testing the waters first to see how I would like it in the first place. Don't really care about, the views so much. I mean, I care if the right person hears what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to recovery and addiction, because my goal is to help as best I can with my experiential wisdom to pull somebody out of addiction and into recovery. That is my fundamental goal. So, and to inform. So my motto is inspire, encourage, and inform to do better and be better. And just to inform people, man. I see a society that is either ill informed, misinformed, disinformed. It's or too informed. Because let me tell you something. In my journey of knowledge seeking, which I've been on so I've been in recovery for 2.5 years. It's medication assisted recovery right now. I'm in the middle of tapering down off of this shit. And then I plan on going immediately after I get off of this medication because I can't do it while I'm on it, straight to Canada to the Ibogaine Treatment Center. The counselor at this place asked me the other day, she says, "What is your exit strategy for leaving this place, leaving the clinic?" I said, "I'm gonna get me a ticket straight to the Ibogaine clinic facility, whatever you want to call it, the Ibogaine treatment facility in Canada, because it's in Canada and Mexico." Be nice if within the next year the United States decides to start actually using something that actually works to treat addiction. That's natural and not habit forming and doesn't eat away your bones like method. It's just a fact. Let me see if you can hear this. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it's my joints in my shoulders here. Every time I do that, it's just popping. Like it's a loud pop. And all of my joints are starting to do that. Um, like my knees, my and my shoulders, basically not all of them, but my knees and my shoulders, but all of my joints are hurting. Rheumatoid arthritis levels showed up in my blood after being on the methadone. I was a dumbass and started on the methadone in 2020 in an attempt to get into recovery, and I did good for about a year, and then, I can throw I don't wanna make excuses, but a lot of shit happened after that year. I lost 2 very close people to me, my house burned the fuck up with me in it, lost my pet, all within, like, a 7-month span, and that led me to excuse me, folks, that led me to, man, relapsing, and, so I had been at the clinic for a year. I relapsed into the, illicit substances, and then I was on those for 3 years, 3 more years. So I was on them for a total of 8 years on illicit substances. I was a polysubstance user, extreme polysubstance user. Mind you, I was not diagnosed with autism or ADHD until, like, right before I went into recovery 2.5 years ago. That speaks volumes to me, because according to, Dr. Gabor Mate, um, in Canada, he's a highly renowned doctor. I think he's a psychologist, or psychologist. Anyways, he's got some really good books, folks. In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts is a really good book if you're struggling with addiction. He's got a new book coming out at the end of this month, actually, and this isn't a paid promotion or anything, but at the end of this month, I can't remember the title, but I ordered the damn thing. It's the psychedelic something, like psychedelic revolution maybe or something like that. But I pre-ordered it. I can't wait to get it. Um, he's very intelligent, but he says that addiction, neurodivergency, and all or shit, childhood trauma, all three go hand in hand, are and are an appetite for destruction. A cocktail of self-destruction, basically, especially when they're untreated. And I went 33 years untreated. Yep. So that speaks volumes to me. I realized that I've been masking myself my whole life. Um, and that's why I do this. Like I used to hide this my whole life, um, very well. And now that I've just kind of just let it flow, it's kind of gotten like really bad. I wish that I would have kind of kept suppressing that, but by me suppressing that for so long, the throat thing started. So like I'm still stemming, it's just different methods. And doing that throat clearing, it's a form of stemming, um, like stimulating the body. So that's what I'm doing when I do all of this. I'm like, so yeah, look, I'll sit there and I have to do it with this or else, because if I do it like this, I will literally, um, it'll build a huge like hard callus skin up on the top of the thumb like there, but it'll be like a blood blister callus. It's bad. So I have to use like a stress ball, my stress brain. um, and it works. So, but that AuDHD paralysis, man, that shit is really, really hindering me now. And it seems like the more that I've learned about the neurodivergence, the more I've realized just how alive it has been in my life, my entire life. And I don't know, it's just I feel like a part of me feels like that it's almost intensified it in a sense because I'm like aware of it now. And I'm like, "Oh, that's what that is." And then I'm like, "Okay, well, I don't feel so freaking weird for doing it now." Like it kind of gave me closure in finding this out. I mean, it definitely did. I don't think there's anything wrong with autism or ADHD folks. I know there's nonverbal people and you know, I know to some people that might seem unfortunate and it can be very hard on the parent, but at the end of the day, those people are beautiful in their own way and they have something to offer to the world too. And, you know, neurodivergent people, especially autistic people, we we show that we care through love. Like we love deeply. Like me personally, I'm extremely empathetic. And to the right people, I'm not empathetic to a criminal at all. Um, especially, if somebody like gets a speeding ticket. I mean, it's a crime, but I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. The criminals I'm talking about, I'm not empathetic toward, are like the pedophiles, the fucking rapists, the real fucking dirtbags of this world. Um, the murderers, the evil, bad fucking people. I'm not empathetic towards them at all. Um, but a lot of people, most people, I'm empathetic towards. Just everybody, but those evil people. um, I feel people's feelings so strongly, and it's often very, very hard for me to differentiate between whose feelings I'm feeling, whether it's mine or theirs. And it gets really, really, really hard. Um, and it it becomes super overwhelming for me. I will be feeling my feelings and their feelings at the same freaking time, and I often can't differentiate between the 2, and so then I'm feeling double the energy, double the sadness, or the hurt, or the pain, whatever it is, and it's always emotional. It always comes out in me in emotion, in tears. Like, I've literally put my hand on somebody before, on my mother. My aunt was passing away this past May. My mom went to say a prayer to her because we thought she was, like, going right then and there. That's what the nurses were saying, and, I started tearing up, my mom started tearing up, and mom was trying to hold it together to get down on her knee and say a prayer, hold her hand and say a prayer, and I put my hand on my mom's shoulder, and my mom was able to gather her composure, say the prayer without crying, and when I put my hand on her shoulder, I'm not making this up, the tears just poured out of me, like, I haven't cried that hard, I don't think, ever in my life, like, it was intense. So, I definitely feel like that, like, I absorbed like, a lot of her pain, her emotional pain in that moment while she was saying that prayer to my aunt. It was very emotional, very special moment, actually, in its own way, it's unfortunate, my aunt was on the verge of losing her life, and she did, unfortunately, eventually, but just family being together in that regards, they're at the end of someone's life, as sad as it is, you know, we have to look at the positive. We have to find the positive within every negative, and I feel like that's something that people often forget about, and we really need to focus on that because there is a positive to be found within every negative. I guarantee you, I promise you, because I have literally searched in reflection into all into back to through my whole life, meditation and reflection, and I have literally found a positive within every single negative that I have ever experienced. It might be the tiniest little freaking thing, but I find it. And you hang on to that. You hang on to that motherfucker, man, because that sometimes is the only bit of light that you got. And the positive in this is that family was together. She had peace. She had people there that loved her, that she loved with her. And, she passed in the night. um, so, there's always light. And so without light, there is no dark. And without dark, there is no light. Because if there is no light, then we would never know what light is. And we would never know what dark is. And, I often say that in order to get to the light, you have to go through the dark. At least I did. I went through 8 years of severe, severe polysubstance abuse. Like I said, it got to the point to where when I first went to the methadone clinic in 2020, I lit up the entire urine test, the entire thing. I lit up everything on it. I remember the doctor saying that I had like 10 or more substances in my system. I don't know if they can test for that many, but I know that he was damn near right on the money. Um, I would do anything just to make myself feel normal. It made me feel normal, literally. It made me social. It made me at first, it made me social. It made my anxiety go away. It made my worrying go away because I constantly worry and stress over every little thing. And I'm really working on that. And it's really hard because I've done it my whole life. I've always been a worry wart. And you know, hell, even when I was in the Marine Corps, I was a worry wart, man, like, about everything, making sure I was doing everything right, like, if I fucked up, I was, like, freak out, like, oh my god, it was so bad, but I loved it, um, but I've always been a worry wart, and, it it hinders me, And, stress kills, folks. And so, time to really realize the impact that stress and worrying really has on the body should be at a very young age. This should be the stuff that they teach us in high school, folks. Because I'm 35, and a lot of the stuff that's really made me knowledgeable, I've learned in the last 5 years, 6 years now, on my own, from researching, from reading, watching podcasts, and just doing general research, um, in-depth research on many topics. I mean, that's how I've literally self-healed myself over the I just started doing therapy, actually, so I don't credit it all to myself, but for 2.5 years, I do. Um, Sorry for the shaking. Um, but yeah, I started therapy, some EMDR therapy, and it's actually surprisingly, this is the first time I've ever done therapy. And like this, I've never done therapy like this. I've had like counselors and shit. Like I have a counselor at the clinic, but like therapy, because as as you guys know, us men, we don't go to fucking therapy, bro. We just suppress that shit because that's what we're supposed to do. Nah, nah. This is where I think that there needs to be two forms of therapy. There needs to be masculine therapy and feminine therapy. One tailored to men, one tailored to women, because we express emotion differently. Men do not like to cry. I've learned to embrace the crying. I don't do it in front of a lot of people. I'll only do it in front of a very select few of people if I really need to let it out, or by my fucking self. Or I'll go downstairs to the punching bag and take that shit out on that son of a bitch. That's exactly what I'll do. And I might cry while I'm doing that, but I don't care because it feels good afterwards. It's a huge release. But I think that that is how therapy should be for me. I think they should have a punching bag, bro. Just put a punching bag in there, bro, and men will go to therapy. They will. They will. Put some fucking weights in a punching bag in there, and men will go to therapy, folks. Hey, to you therapists out there, remember who gave you the business idea. I'm serious. That will, I guarantee you, if you advertise masculine male therapy, punching bags and weights, I guarantee you that you you will get so many customers. It's that simple. You just gotta tailor it to the men, and you gotta, well, it's already tailored to the women. I mean, that's what it, in my eyes, I think it's more of a, they say it's an overall approach, but it's not a one size fits all deal, folks, because women and men process emotions completely different. Completely different. So there needs to be two different forms of therapy approach. Mind you, the therapy I am in is led by a female, and but, I like, I just to me, it's just talking, like, I'm just having a conversation. I'm just airing out my bullshit, basically, kinda like I'm doing right now, actually, and maybe somebody's listening and maybe not, but it really doesn't matter because it's helping me just to get whatever's on my mind out there. Even if it's, like, not something that, you know, would be that you would go to therapy for. Like, just talking about what I'm talking about, all this stuff lives in my head all day long if I don't voice it or write it down. And then my attention span is out the window if I go to write. I've got, like, 4 journals here that I've started, haven't finished any of them. And then I've got one massive ass, like, big ass journal here. It's like the size of a, it's like this thick and it's like this big. It's like 12 inches long. It's like 8 inches wide. Oops. Oopsie daisy. Oopsie daisy. Yeah, this bad boy. So I'm writing a book. Yes, sir. I say that. I've been saying that for like I don't know how many years now. The past few years I've been saying I'm writing a book. I've got all these journals around here like halfway written, half done, you know, only like half of them is only written in half of it and the other half's just empty still. All of them are like that. I think I just need to go through them and combine them all together and put it in this one big one. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then see what I have after that. Um, but yeah, I really wanna write a book, and I am writing a book, it's just a matter of getting it done. That ADHD or AuDHD, whatever you wanna call it, the neurodivergent paralyses. Um, that shit gets in the way, man. So, hopefully, therapy, though, can help me figure out how to better overcome that. I figured out on my own that if you just when you initially get the thought to go, like, do something like, when I initially got the thought to come and live stream for the first time, if I would've just gotten up and gone and did it right then, I think that is the trick. I really do. I think that it's just a matter of getting your ass up and going and doing it right then and there. Because the moment sorry guys, the moment you second guess yourself or think twice about it or think about anything that like oh I have to do this first or I'll do it after that or I'll do it after this. The moment that goes through your head, you're feeding that ADHD or neurodivergence paralyses. um, so just be conscious of that because I really do believe from my experience that that is the key, and it's so easy to forget about. So easy, so easy to forget about. Because I find myself still like I said for the last 2 days, I've had this very screen on to go live, sitting here on my computer screen for the last 2 days. Each day I turn the computer on, I put this on. I'm like, I'm doing it today. I put this on at 6 a.m. this morning, actually. And here it is. I just started this at, like, 4:30 in the afternoon, but at least I did it. At least I started it. I just hope that this time you can actually hear the freaking audio because last time I did this, there was no audio, so I just sat here and talked, which is fine with me. It helped me, so, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, as long as it helps me, if it helps somebody else, that's all that matters to me, man. I'm just trying to get people out of the manufactured mind that we are born into, that we are constructed into the moment that we step foot into the schooling system. Notice I said schooling system, not education system, because there's a difference. And we don't have an education system. We have a schooling system. It's an assembly line. It's like a factory. That's what it is. 13 years of assembly line. It's a 13-year long assembly line. It's exactly what it is. From preschool or kindergarten to 12th grade. And then you've got um 4 more years of advanced assembly line learning if you go to college. Or possibly 6 or 12 more years depending on what profession you decide to go after. And that's all just a scam. I hate to say it. Yeah, there needs to be, you've gotta go learn to be a freaking doctor and specialties like that, but at the end of the day, the scam part is the money that they're making you fucking pay. They are literally taking our youth and setting them up to start life fresh with a pile of fucking debt. That's why I went into the Marine Corps. I still haven't used my GI Bill, so I think I'm pretty sure I still have that option actually, even though I could be wrong on that though. But I'm pretty sure they signed something into law back in Trump's first term that allowed for people to hold on to their GI Bill because before I think it expired if you didn't use it within like 7 years, I believe. And I was like right on the cusp of 7 years. Excuse me, when that happened. So, it was like towards the end of his term. Like, I think. I think it happened in actually 2018 is when they did that, maybe 17. But I don't know if it even could be undone by the next administration or not. I don't think so, but that was something that had happened. And like I said, I don't know if it's still in effect, but hopefully it is because I would honestly like to hold on to it for my future children to use because I'm educating myself enough, man. I just feel like that would be the right thing to do to set them up for success, guaranteed success. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a way to go to college. And I don't have to worry about it as much. But damn, I forgot what the hell I was saying. This is something else I struggle with is I'll be talking and I could be talking about something that I'm deeply interested in, that I love, absolutely love. And mine just goes blank. In the blink of an eye, it just goes blank. It's like "Fuck you. I'm gone." That's what it feels like. And then I feel like a dumbass because I literally will just stop talking in the middle of explaining something because I literally forgot what I was talking about. I don't know what's called. I think my my fellow neurodivergent friends tell me that it's the neurodivergency, but I think that it could be that and the methadone. I think the methadone is fogging my mind, and also the cannabis, which I've tremendously cut back on. So proud of myself for that. um, I'm basically just utilizing it now to sleep for the most part. Um, and I'm really working on getting away from smoking it and only utilizing it through tincture form because I can make my own tincture with some oils and cannabis, and I've got the infuser, and I just put it in there, and it goes to work. And then I've got me a little tincture of some oil that I can either take orally or rub it on topically, and it like immediately takes the pain away in my joints, almost almost immediately. It's pretty wild. So that's how I'm trying, or not trying. I'm working on not saying trying, folks. So I'll probably be correcting myself many times in the future with that. So you'll hear that again. But I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to work on all of this. It's a lot. It's a lot. I tell you that. It's a lot. But I got it. I will endure and persevere as always. It's all about the mindset, folks. You got to step outside of the box of the manufactured mind that we are born into, that we are schooled into. This is why I think that all kids should really be homeschooled. This is the importance of the elders and family sticking together. Because if you have family that sticks together and you have, you know, other people in your family with kids, that's how your kids can be social. You'll have social interactions with with other kids through your family members. The elders teach while the parents work, and then the parents also teach. The elders have a lot of wisdom to give, a lot of useful wisdom. The stuff they're teaching in the schooling system, I mean, unless you're like a rocket scientist or a physicist or anything like that, I don't think that you'll be using too much calculus or algebra. I could be wrong. I mean, I use math all the time, obviously, but we all do. I just um I just know what the schooling system is about. And I know that I believe it was Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller. John D. Rockefeller said, I don't want to build a country of thinkers. I want to build a country of workers. They don't want you to think, folks. They don't want you to be a free thinker. They don't want that. They want you to be under the illusion of thy manufactured mind, not this manufactured mind, Uncle Sam's manufactured mind. It's the truth, bro. Just calling it like it is, man. That's what I see. And I will point you to a book that I've recently read called Dumbing Us Down by John D. Fuck. I was going to say John D. Rockefeller. No. No, it's Dumbing Us Down by John Taylor Gatto. Highly recommend it. That's not a paid promotion, by the way. Um, it's just a recommendation from my um arsenal of novels and literature, and then listen to both of those books or read them both physically. I guarantee this dude was a teacher for 30 plus years. So the dude knows what he's talking about. And I'm inclined to believe somebody who's been in that environment for 30 plus years, you know? Again, experiential wisdom trumps all. I really believe that. You can go to college and learn all you want to, but you're really not going to learn anything until you experience it. It's just like a doctor, like you can practice doing surgery on somebody, like on a dummy, like on a fake person, on a fake dummy person. Like but until you actually do surgery on a real living human being, it's not going to be the same experience because you've got somebody's life in your hands, literally, and you can't fuck up. So imagine the anxiety that could come with that. I mean, I would imagine that they can't, like, they don't get anxiety because that wouldn't be good. So I'm sure they have control over that much better than myself. um, the anxiety is so overwhelming for me. It's bad. It's so bad, man. That's another thing that debilitates me. Um, oh, is the anxiety. Mm, damn. Yeah, the anxiety gets really bad too. Um, and you know, the lack of quality sleep is absolute horrible. Horrible. I've gotten sleep. I've slept all night like twice this week, which is a massive improvement. Massive improvement. And this is something that is part of the process in recovery and the tapering process off of the freaking methadone, which is fucking straight poison. Straight poison. It's just liquid heroin. That's all it is. Yep. Research even says that it's worse than heroin. According to research, look it up on AI yourself. In fact, in the early 1900s, heroin was prescribed to treat morphine addiction. Let that sink in. So nothing has changed but the name and the form of substance. It's not powder, it's liquid. Shit's bad, man. It's crazy. It really is. Like, once I started doing the research on it, it blew my not really. It didn't really blow my mind. It kinda did, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Once I found out what it does to the bones and that it's, like, the only well, this is an opiate agonist or whatever. It's got, like, the longest half-life. It gets in your bone tissue and bone marrow. Like, why would they give people something like that? Well, I'll tell you why. I think everybody knows why. Money, 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 money. Money. Money, 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 money. Money. That's what it's all about. They don't want people leaving there. I would love to do, like, a survey with these clinics, with the workers there and be like, "Sh would you would would you be happy if everybody in this clinic was sober tomorrow?" And think about that. What happens if everybody in the clinic is sober tomorrow? Those folks don't have a job. Would they be happy? What do you think? I don't think they would. Some of them might be, but not all of them. Dude, they change fucking counselors like they change fucking underwear, bro. Like, you can't get a counselor there and even get to know them before they fucking leave. They throw in the white towel. And I know a part of it is, like, the way they're probably fucking treated by the people that are coming in there and using them in any way at all they think it is. It's oh man, how ironic. It's keeping them from being sick, but they're inevitably making themselves sicker by taking that and the fucking other drugs. Double-edged sword. Indeed. But that's what it does to you, man. And those people come in there with the worst fucking attitudes, bro. Zero patience. Like, I can literally tell who's using illicit substances still and who's not. All I have to do is stand there and watch, and I can literally tell. It's clear. It's so clear to me. Like, and I mean, that's because I have the experiential wisdom. I've lived it. I was those people at one time. I was in the still using illicit substances while on the methadone, using it as a fucking crutch when I didn't have, the other shit. When I should have been utilizing the methadone just to fucking get in and the fuck out of there within like 2 years at most. But no. Just wasn't in the right mindset, man, in the beginning. And finally something snapped. I started using fear to get me out of addiction. I started looking up what I was doing to my mind, my brain, my body, my soul, my heart, my veins, my organs, my other organs, my kidneys, intestines. You fuck your body up. Your teeth, like, it's bad, folks. And it's really sad to see places like Kensington, Pennsylvania, places like Portland, Oregon, places like Seattle, Washington, places like California, who basically Kensington, from what I understand, is flooded with cheap, 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 cheap fucking drugs. Horrible drugs. Fentanyl and xylazine. And this is where they've desensitized an entire society to zombies with The Walking Dead. And you think that I'm crazy when I say that, but just ponder on that for a little while. Just think about that. Think about the zombie phase that society went through where everybody was into zombies because of The Walking Dead. Everything was about zombies. These movies and video games are here to desensitize us to what is to come. They are precursors of what is to come. Look at iRobot. I'm dead serious. I've done this thought work. I've connected these dots. And it look think about the Simpsons, folks. How have they predicted all of the things they've predicted? Come on, man. Come on. Stop playing. And I feel like that a part of it is like almost in good faith. And what do I mean by that? Well, because whoever's making the movie, they're obviously like so many movies and video games have shown up in life. Like the movie before the life event. Like, the zombies that was building up while the addiction epidemic was building up and turning into what it's turned into, which is makes these people look like fucking zombies, bro. It's eating their flesh away. Literally. It's making their flesh rot away. And they're hunched over, living on the streets. It's bad, bro. And sad. So sad. And I know that there's cases where there's people out there that honestly cannot afford. They might have a job and might not be able to fucking afford to live in society because of how expensive everything is with housing. It's insane. You can't up the cost of living and not up the people's pay. You can't like that's just not feasible. Portland, but they pretty much hand out fucking survival kits for overdosing to these people. They hand out clean needles, they go and test their drugs for them, give them the drugs back. They give them the drugs back with a needle and some Narcan, as if they could Narcan them fucking selves. It's utterly insane. Like, you have to be an evil motherfucker to do that. Seriously. And then try to say, "Oh, we're just trying to help them. We're trying to help them not get hepatitis." Okay. That's the card you're gonna play. That's the hill you're gonna die on. bullshit. Bullshit. You know damn well you're not helping them. And you know damn well that they're still getting hepatitis if they're sharing needles, if they're sharing them. Because you can't give it to yourself. You have to get it from somebody else. You have to share it with somebody. A needle. That's how they get it. And I understand, you know, thinking, giving them a clean needle is going to keep them from sharing. But I can tell you this much, that's not going to be the case. Especially if you're only handing this shit out like once a week. Like I heard they were in Seattle. Once or twice a week, something like that. It's just crazy, bro. Like, I've unfortunately overdosed 6 times. The last time, it took like 17 or 18 Narcans to bring me the fuck back. I'm not kidding. And I'm not fucking bragging by any means. I wish that I could go back and redo those 6 times again and not overdose and not have ever even touched the drugs. But I can't. It happened. I learned my lesson. Took 6 times, unfortunately. The first time they had to use the defibrillators. There was a couple times in there that I had no medical intervention. Don't know how I'm here, but I'm here right now. And so I'm trying. See, there it goes again. I'm doing my best to make the best of it and doing my best to inform, inspire, and encourage people to do better, be better, and to just stay informed with facts. But I really hope to inspire and encourage someone to get out of addiction. It is not worth it. I know that what you're feeling right now may feel worth it. And you're probably thinking, oh, just one more time. Just one more time. And how many one more times have you had prior to this one? And how many more one more times is it going to take? You are running from something within, whether it's trauma, whether it's inability to cope or deal with anything. That is the underlying cause. And when you treat that, the underlying cause, not the side effects of the underlying cause, but the underlying cause itself, the trauma, when you treat that and you face that head on and really sit with yourself, whether you're in therapy, which I would encourage, even though for myself personally, and I'm not advising anybody to do this by any means, but for me personally, I've lived in solitude for 6 years. Part of that was during some of the addiction. These last 2.5 years, I've been in recovery, so I've been in solitude for 2.5 years of recovery. That's not for everybody. It can be dangerous. It can be dangerous in addiction living alone because you don't have nobody to check on you. You don't have nobody to be there if you do overdose and help you. You don't have nothing. but yourself. And in recovery, emotions can heighten, feelings of like lack of purpose, all that shit that can lead to suicide. And that's what we don't want. So that's why I say solitude can be dangerous ground. So tread carefully. But I would encourage people to go and at least give it your best and give therapy a go. You have to test the waters. Not everything that works for me or anybody else is going to work for you. And what works for you isn't going to may not work for me and may not work for anybody else. But you have to give it a shot. You have to give it a go. Please. Once you get a taste of that freedom from chasing a substance all day long, that's what you need to get addicted to. It's the freedom of not having to chase a drug by leaving them alone. Like, so for example, I've shifted my addiction because I don't believe that addiction goes anywhere like fully. I think that we're all addicted. And quite frankly, just look at sugar. Everybody's addicted to sugar. And it's quite frankly one of the worst substances on the fucking planet. Think about this, folks. Sugar, diabetes. It's the slow substance killer. It's the slow killer substance, rather. It'll rot your fucking teeth out just like anything else will. It'll rot your teeth out like meth does. It'll give you fucking diabetes, fuck your stomach up, fuck your whole body up. And yet that shit is every